Hi, this is Adri. I wanted to make just a little showcase of something that has been worked on for a little while, right? Before I do, I'd like to clear up that this is not something that has been like a huge focus of the game thus far, right? Of development in terms of like content or anything. But I think it's a nice little like illustrative thingy of how an area that had like, I mean, Hawaii was just this, right? And now it offers quite a bit more. So how content expansion can change and like add new things that we can explore and just have fun with, right? So anyway, you come to Hawaii, you can come anytime, it costs a little bit of money, but not even really that much. And you talk to this dude over here, he's the worried mariner apparently, I forgot. And yeah, he's very excited about going to the Volcanic Island, and he just asks if you want to tag along. You hit yes, you can come here anytime, and here you are. Basically, this is a set of 3 maps. You go from like this field to the grotto, and from the grotto you can, right now at least, enter one extra map, right? That is just the field too, I guess. There's a little bit of like, I don't know, like a theme going on with this, right? Early on, when you first arrive, you mostly just see like animals, you know, like somewhat exotic, like there's these fire toads, and there's like some clams and stuff. And there's this is, believe it or not, a native, and they roughly look like that. This one in particular is static, because like she just, if we stop being invincible, you can see that she just throws, you know, things at you. This is like, I mean, she throws meatballs. There's a story behind this, but it's a very long story. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I just think she's really cute, and she matches the aesthetic pretty well. Also, it's night, so maybe we can make it day, because it's quite a bit brighter. I really like the change between night and day in these maps. But yeah, so anyway, we're gonna stop getting, you know, meatballed, and we're just gonna run around and ramble for a little bit. This is the first of a series of maps. None of these maps are done from scratch. I'm actually not going to go up the volcano because I'm really bad at navigating it, although I could do this and put, you know, arrows on the floor. But yeah, I'm not very good at it, so I'm just not gonna do it. Because I would get stuck 50 times because of going at this speed. This used to be a map that was used, I think, in an instance or something like that. It was just an island on its own called Corodo. And Vala had the idea to expand it somewhat, right, the terrain, and I, well, just sort of like fleshed it out afterwards and like continued, you know, the work on it after he did like the initial outline. And yeah, just the whole thing is you first arrive here from Hawaii and you see like, you know, there's a bunch of animals, there's like, you know, in this map specifically, there's only one native. If you go into the... Right, so at first when we introduced this, right, and we outlined what we wanted to add, it was just this map and then the dungeon inside, right? You can, you know, get a peek at the dungeon, but I haven't spawned the mobs here yet, so it's just, you know, kind of... there's just not, you know, like anything in here, because I just haven't had any fucking time to finish up mob work yet. Anyway, mob spawns rather. The mobs themselves are done, the AIs are done, but, well, most of them anyway. But there's always an element of work in progress to this shit, I think. But yeah, you know, there's 2 levels to the dungeon. There's like bigger, like far bigger and like cooler toad. Actually, I can spawn it maybe. I really like the name, I really like the aesthetic of it. But yeah, like this toad lives inside the, you know, the volcano itself, and like, it, you know, when it's around, the kilaueas, which are like little frogs, they can... they just react, basically. There's a lot of like reactive monster design in like the new mobs. I'm kind of hoping that it'll go down well, because there's so much of it, but... basically, like, they, you know, like, empower them, so to speak, right? Not necessarily, like, make them stronger, but they just make them act different, you know, like, they kind of, like, take shelter behind the big frog, which is melee only, and they start spitting fire at you from, like, as far as they can, right? They use different skills, just stuff like that. Anyway, like, these guys over here are fuckers too, like, maybe... Actually, not, because I will have to dismount, and I don't know where I have the key bound, and I don't want to mess with the UI right now. But yeah, this is just like this map. We, as I mentioned, like, you know, Vala and I worked on this a couple months ago, and I've been finishing it on and off ever since. And this was the only thing. This and the dungeon was the only thing we had for Hawaii for a really long time. But well, I don't know if any of you have been following the discussion that Insomnia and I have been having, well, other people obviously, have been having in the Yggdrasil channel, or whatever it's called, I don't remember right now. But it's definitely a thing that regional areas feel very isolated. They feel like a theme park. You arrive at the place, they have a nice pretty city, and they have a dungeon maybe, and they have a field, and that's it. And that's really not how, world design is structured in the game itself, right? So I ended up biting the bullet, and I got an idea maybe like a week ago or something to make a different map, which is actually not this one. This one I literally just threw together, I think, 2 days ago in like an hour or something. This is a map from the beta that, as I mentioned, like I don't really like do. I'm still much of a novice, like when it comes to mapping, and I try to take shortcuts when I can. Right, this is a map from the beta that has been like, heavily altered, and I think it works quite well, like for where it is. Right, it's supposed to be like a little grotto. I don't remember what I called it. Let me see if it has a name. Kurodo Sunlit Grotto. Right, yeah, okay. I think it's called that because like there's sunlight here, even though it's technically, indoors. But yeah, here you can see that there's like more natives, like Hono means turtle, apparently in Hawaiian. I don't know this, and I was bothering a friend who happens to be Hawaiian by, which fucking chance. And I was asking him all kinds of like, stupid questions about language and stuff. And yeah, like here you just have like more of the natives. This is not like per se where they live, and eventually like there's more presence of them here, and also like in the dungeon itself, in the second floor, there is a pretty big MVP, and which is supposed to be like some sort of fire deity. I'm not sure if it's going to be actually related to Hawaiian culture, because it's difficult to tie in what it looks like. Let me just summon it real quick. Monster. This lives in the bottom. This sprite is sick. It was done by Vala again, and yeah, like this was, I think, a garment or something like that, if you can fucking believe it. The sword appears only when you die or something similar to that, but basically it's just clever use of the resources, right? And he did a fucking incredible job with it. I love this mod. Basically, maybe he can shoot me once. Probably going to fucking die. Yeah, he just hit me for like 60,000 damage or something. The AI for this one is complete, and you can see the little, these things are called veil. Don't exactly ask me why. I have a problem when it comes to naming things in this game, which is that it's just... there's a very specific nomenclature to this game. Like, if you think about a fucking rat in this game, it's not called rat, and a grasshopper is not called a grasshopper. They are, cramps and vocals and, rockers and shit like that. So I just call them veil because it's mystique, like it's like weird, and I just like it. So anyway, like, yeah, so there's more of these guys that live near the bottom of the dungeon, and I would like to add a map for them that does add some, I don't know if a settlement, because I'm not sure if I want to add like even more map, town maps, but just something that feels lived in, right? Like where you can tell that there's a culture or something. Here you have like one of these sprites are modified from the, I don't know what they're called. I actually have no fucking idea what they're called, but they're supposed to be like some mutated people from just later chapters into the game, right? I just think that once modified, they fit the aesthetic well. Like this one is called Snake, Neka. This one's called Lonu Turtle, and the other one I think is called Regret, which is really funny because of the backstory of the, spaghetti monster. But yeah, we'll touch on that probably never. So this is just some small map that was done, right? You can go over here. And then this one was the first map that I've almost done from scratch on my own. It's not exactly from scratch because I took it from... But to be fair, I don't fucking know. I have like a massive dump of maps from like all, you know, like regions and like a bunch of like free releases and stuff. I just looked around for one that looked like a beach. I deleted everything that was on it, and I just built my own thing, right? I like using maps that have like some concept to it. It's the same reason why like I really like finding out about this. Well, in the post, in the announcement, there should be a big map that has like some, you know, some red squares where I'm not really planning, but I would like to eventually have something going on, right? Like some maps for regional countries and stuff like that. And yeah, I just find it very useful when there is already something built into the when there is like a bottom layer to what you're designing, right? You know, if I have like some idea what the texture looks like, what the area is supposed to be like, right? What's around it, it just helps so much to make something that looks a little better. I'm still not sure that what I put out like really looks like any fucking good, but I think that it's well, it could be a lot worse, you know. So here you can probably see that there's like some orcs called, you know, they're like female high orcs kinda. They are called Iron Dames, and you have the natives here, and you probably saw before, well, there's a couple of hornets, because I think it's a nice place to have hornets to come and just hunt, even though this hornet is fucking level 1, so we need to look into that, I guess. All stats need to be revised, but I think I touched on that on the thing itself. This is this map's called Contested Shoreline, which is basically like both of the natives, and there's a lot of these Honus, which are magic users. I think they should attack me, you know, if I do this, you know. And the bugbears are neutral, but they do a really cute thing, which is like if someone is like CC, they come over and cutely touch them, and also they just attack and they inflict poison, and they're just fuckers, right? So it's a fun mix. Over here at the bottom you have the Honus and the bugbears, and the hornets are just all over the place. So you can come and try to get your double bounce, you know, if you want to. Double bounce is probably going to get some kind of nerf, but I mean, it's still, you know how the design works. The design itself is not going to change. Anyways, we move from here and we actually acknowledge the orcs. Basically, the orcs are here. They're supposed to either have always been here, like in this corner, or they have arrived recently from like maybe some other island. This is not like some heavy fucking lore that I have like already, you know, delineated. But the idea is that the orcs settled on the top line of this, you know, of this place. They've been chopping down like every single tree. You can tell that there's a lot less vegetation here. They are, if I can find it, yeah, they're building this huge fucking boat to get the hell out of here. I really enjoy building this boat. This reminds me so much of home. Just because like I was born, like I don't think I've ever mentioned, but like my father was a carpenter. And this is just a good time, like, you know, putting together something that's familiar to you, like personally. This is a great game, honestly, to have like some, maybe not like artistic, but just creative expression, right? And I just try to like have fun with the things that I put up, so that in turn I don't lose interest and can make something that can eventually be fun for everyone, right? But yeah, the orcs have their little place over here. They, you know, chop down the trees, they, you know, work on they have this woodworking over here. These are the guys that make the planks, so I am not going to have any shortage of planks any fucking time soon, as you can tell. And yeah, let me see. Right, they have this forge as well to justify like all this stuff. Oh my god, okay, let's climb this with the mount on, which is going to, yeah, it just looks hilarious, looks ridiculous. But yeah, this was a very fun map to put together, and there's not really much more to this. I don't think I'll be showing the thing itself. Wow, that looks retarded when you go down at this speed. But well, usually you move a lot slower when you are on foot, and also... sorry. Yeah, there you go. And when you're on foot and when you don't have like GM commands to move, you know, much faster. So yeah, I just think this is a nice little expansion of the concept that is the island of Hawaii. And I don't think I have much more to show. if I showcase the second floor of the dungeon, or like the dungeon at all, it'll probably be later if I am doing like some other pass over like MVP encounters or something. I really like the Leviathan fight. Maybe I can summon him again just to, you know, have him on screen while I'm talking. I really like his fight because he's static. He can't actually like follow, you know, he sees you from very far away. Like he won't just be like a sitting duck, right? And all MVPs are fuckers in terms of like stats, the amount of damage they take and stuff like that, right? The amount of damage they deal. This is not, let me see, you know, he hits once and I lose like a huge fucking chunk of, you know, of health. I think he's missing the multicasts. There's definitely like some little tweaks that need to be done. But as you can see, this is basically just a static boss that has like these little guys that follow around to reach further than he does. They're not summons, so they can actually like chase you for a really long time. And the volcanoes, they chase you. Once they volcano, they start like trying to thrust you if no one's fighting in melee. There's a method to the madness because you're not supposed to fight these things. Yeah, so as you can see, this is pretty spicy. You're not supposed to fight these things one-on-one, and they're not supposed to be like as spammy, right? So there's choke points where you can like pull them away. There's ways to handle it, but it's you know, it's tough. It's not gonna be like the easiest thing in the world. So yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to have like a little, I don't know, like a little showcase of some stuff that has been done. There is more talk, a lot more talk, about expanding some other areas. And to be fair, an area that I've had plans to update for quite a while was Samatsu, right? But well, I just don't think that I will before the... or maybe I'll do like a little something that I have in mind, but I don't think I'll do like the full implementation of what I have in mind before the relaunch, because well, the scope creep has to stop at some point. Scope creep. But more importantly than that, I think that just like these things, like having one island city or like one little place that doesn't really have much of a meaning to it, just lends itself very well to later on expanding that, you know, and like making sure that there is a bunch of easily identifiable places that have a meaning to the area itself. I think that's the best way to put it. Also, I just can't fucking believe that the dames keep spawning here. Like, they're supposed to be the ones for the, you know, like the forging ones and stuff, right? While the other ones are the carpenters. But it's just like, they fucking yearn from the forge. It's for the forge. It's just amazing. Like, every time, even once, like I was finishing this map, and I just spawn. Oh shit! What the fuck should we? I'm wondering if I should make them infight, or like just like get away from each other or something. It would be fun to have him fighting monsters, but I would need to find out, you know, like make sure that there's a way to make it, you know, not like super exploitable or something. Or well, really, like if you can exploit like one Hono or something, like this is not supposed to be. This is not an iced item, right? This is not going to be like a super difficult target. So maybe getting a couple low kills if you're like lingering, you know, around two that are fighting or something. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. I'm not sure what support there is for infighting, but I really like infighting in games. So maybe we can do something about it. You know, that could be fun. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, right, the orcs and the fort. Also, like sometimes from down here, you can see, you know, just everything up here. It's like, I really like verticality in this game. If it's really difficult to do, or at least, you know, I think it's difficult to do anyway. I don't have much experience with mapping, so I don't really know. But like it's dangerous. Not dangerous. It's difficult because you can't have overlapping walkable tiles. Like the world is just a flat surface. You can even tell like how the model just warps as you change the FOV from what it's supposed to be. But yeah, like you can't make it so that you can walk down here and you can walk up here, right? So even doing things like this, like there's a lot of like finagling, like making sure like, okay, like this is actually not walkable, And if you're making like an underpass on a bridge, like you have to add, you know, teleports and stuff. But yeah, it's just a neat little thing having like, you know, you come here, you can have like a little view or something, you can, you know, sit down with your, I don't even know if this is like some kind of like horse zebra. I don't even know what this mount is, to be honest. I probably should have looked at which character I was on before I started recording, but now it's like whatever, no minutes long. So, so yeah. I don't think I have anything more to mention about this. I probably do, but I'm just forgetting. Regardless, progress is happening on some capacity. Work sometimes, like just work and life, like sometimes doesn't leave much room for it. But things like this, like fleshing out little places, you know, working on a map in like 15 minutes that you have free, stuff like that. It's not only enjoyable, but it's also just self-contained. So you're not committing yourself to like, okay, I have to spend like 4 hours on this, you know, to make sure that I finish everything. I mean, nothing really asks for 4 hours, but some things definitely need like a lot of like heavy testing, where you, if you kind of like just leave halfway through, you're not throwing everything to the wind, but it's a fucking mess, right? So yeah, I'll, like before launch, there probably will be more maps, because I have very little self-control when it comes to mapping, and it's just so fun. But it won't be the ones that are in the big, you know, like map outline. And I hope you found this entertaining, you know, like, or like a little, you know, a little curious. I hope the video is like separated enough that you can just kind of like skim through like the different areas. I've been running around like a retard the whole time, in hopes that if someone just wants to like see what shit looks like, you know, you just can, and you don't have to be like sitting through, you know, the 20 minutes of rambling or however long this is. But yeah, it's been fun, and I'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks.